In a not so shocking turn of events, because let's face it, this was not something anybody thought was going to last. The minute that, the mob turned on Disney, they reinstated Jimmy Kimmel Live because apparently, that's what's going on. Now, I don't think the man should have been canceled to begin with. I don't think people should be canceled at all. I think that's ridiculous and stupid. The only reason you should cancel somebody is if they outwardly do something horrible and kind of thing. But free speech is free speech. As long as you don't go out there and incite people to do things like that, I don't have a problem with it. I think you could have just apologized and move on. But then, of course, they literally fired Gina Carano for not putting pronouns in her bio and all kind of thing, and that was it. So there is kind of a double standard. But let's go through this article here from Pirates and Princesses. Disney reinstates Jimmy Kimmel Live. Disney did as expected and reinstated Jimmy Kimmel Live, which was last week, Tuesday. This is what they had to say. Last Wednesday, we made the decision to suspend production on the show to avoid further inflaming a tense situation at an emotional moment for our country. It is a decision we made because we felt some of the comments were ill-timed and thus insensitive. We have spent the last days having thoughtful conversations with Jimmy and after those conversations, we reached a decision to return the show on Tuesday. Pack of crap. What happens is that a bunch of celebrities and other people started to freak out over the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing, even though none of them were really watching the show because the ratings showed that the ratings should have been down for quite some time. They all had a problem with it. They all started making noise about it. Disney stock dropped, so they brought him back. That was the long and short of it. Jimmy Kimmel needs to apologize at least. His comments were untrue. Last year, he was upset when he was accused of being on the Epstein list, which he was not, and felt people shouldn't make false statements like that. Then he turned around and did it himself. Yeah, the whole thing about talking about the MAGA gang and all kind of thing, and talking about, this kid. No, it's not true. You should have apologized and said that. Or even more, you could have just stayed away from it. That's my take on it. You could have just stayed away from it. But apparently not. Two of the major ABC affiliate carriers, Nexta and Sinclair, said they would not carry the show after Kimmel's comments. Then Disney pulled the show completely instead of putting it on one of their streaming services. While some blame FCC Chair Brendan Carr for saying Disney could face consequences on a podcast, Nexta already stated that was not the case. Because they've listened to the fact that they're afraid Trump sued them. That was it. They're afraid because Trump already sued them once. They're afraid another lawsuit. That was the long and short of it. It is worth noting that the Jimmy Kimmel Live show has seen a large decline in viewership over the past several months. Yep. Prior to this situation, those screaming about free speech were seemingly not watching Jimmy Kimmel Live before the situation happened. Of course they would. The author of this article was going to say, I am 100% against cancel culture. And I 100% agree with it. I am not for cancel culture at all. And felt he should have apologized and not gotten his show cancelled for that reason. That being said, I think it's abhorrent of Disney to reinstate Kimmel after firing Gina Carano and then forcing her to sue them to clear her name. Exactly. People were out there acting like Gina Carano was the devil incarnate. And all because the one refused to put pronouns in her bio. They made up all kind of things about her to act like if she was the worst thing ever. And just kept going at it and all that stuff. That was it. And plus, what she said about government, something, she used factual information from the Holocaust, and this is what happened. But no, Jimmy Kimmel reinstated because they were but Gina Carano had really sued them to get the clear name. What makes me furious is that 400 celebrities signed a letter to the Civil Liberties Union over Kimmel's show, but sat and said nothing when others were cancelled. The difference boils down to who they perceive is on their side and who isn't. That's really the thing. Once you are with them, they're good. You're not with them, they don't care. And this is the danger of letting politics rule everything about you. This is it. I don't care what political spectrum anybody's on. Like again, like I say, I don't live in United States. You're Republican, Democrat, I don't care. Be a good, decent, honest person. That's all I care about. Honestly, that's all I care about. The majority of them cannot do that, and this is why we keep getting this nonsense. The rules for thee but not for me, crowd screaming about free speech now need to take an introspective look at their own behavior over the last several years before ever demanding the cancellation of anyone else, which is really true. These are the people who wanted everybody cancelled who did not go along with whatever the hell they were saying. Understand me? They were perfectly happy to have people get cancelled, lose their jobs, reputation be destroyed. They were good with that. But once it boils down to anybody that they have that they perceive is on their side, then they have a problem. And it boils down to being a literal double standard in America. And this other article here from Pirates and Princesses explains on that. The media's response to Jimmy Kimmel / Disney highlight the double standards in America. Jimmy Kimmel returned to the air and thanked Disney for standing up for free speech. The media keeps running with Trump trying to silence critics. Now Elizabeth Warren and friends want to punish Sinclair and Nexstar. The circle of hypocrisy keeps spinning. File this on no opinion, but I do have the evidence as well. The thing about it is that Jimmy Kimmel returned and he didn't actually give an apology. Right? He didn't actually give an apology. Talk about free speech and all that, because that's what's going on. Right, now let me continue on here. This is what the author of this article had to say. I 100% believe in the freedom of speech, and I have said that Jimmy Kimmel should not have been removed for what he said. I am 100% against cancel culture. Agree with that also 100%. This is why I'm saying what I am saying, right? Pausing Jimmy Kimmel's show over what he said is wrong, but firing Gina Carano was justified. Yeah, because Gina Carano refused to bow to them. That was it. According to the media and Hollywood, firing Roseann Barr, who frankly said something really crappy, but she apologized and was still fired. Kimmel got to come back. Whoopi Goldberg said something crappy about Jewish people and only got a 2-week suspension and was told to apologize. Yeah, there is the double standard, right? Gina Carano got fired. Roseann Barr said something crappy but apologized, got fired, right? Jimmy Kimmel comes back. Whoopi Goldberg said something crappy about Jewish people, 2-week suspension, told to apologize, she's back. So you see, once you're with them, you're good. You're in trouble. Disney fired Gina Carano for not putting pronouns in her bio and for saying that political polarization was dangerous, citing fact-based information from the Holocaust. Exactly. That's what happened with Gina Carano. She didn't want to put pronouns in her bio, which I 100% agree with, because it's stupid and ridiculous and it makes no sense. And also she talked about political polarization. She used fact-based historical information from the Holocaust. But there are too many people who just go along with these things. Somebody told me once, Gina Carano said some nasty, homophobic, transphobic, hateful. When I asked, okay, what exactly did Gina Carano say? Up to now, the person can't answer me. Because all they need to be told is, listen, Gina Carano hates trans people, go with that. And they just make up anything else from there. That's all they need to do. She was fired and had to sue the Walt Disney Company to get her reputation back. Why? Because the Disney is run by a bunch of evil sycophants who just want you to fall in line. Okay, I'm going to say that, I'm not a big fan of Trump and all of that and the other, but I'm going to tell you about something the media is not covering much. Google just admitted that the Biden administration told them to censor individual creators on YouTube. I believe that because they were saying things that they didn't like. Topics targeted were those questioning the vaccine mandates and the election. And this is actually true. You can check it on yourself. You will find out to be true. How is this not silencing critics and violating free speech for political reasons? It is. It is. But because Biden and them are Democrat and they forget, this is decided it to be or nothing wrong with that. Facebook and X, which is formerly Twitter, have also released proof of the same thing. If you don't believe me, the House Oversight Committee when Biden was president, yeah, all that's there. According to the report and testimony from leaders of social media companies, the Biden administration used their power to try and suppress a story about Hunter Biden's laptop. None of it is okay, but it is not only on one side. The argument made by users boiled down to companies can remove who they want. But now Elizabeth Warren and four other lawmakers want to punish Sinclair and Nexstar for preempting Jimmy Kimmel Live. In a letter first obtained by NBC News, the lawmakers asked the corporate heads of both companies for more information about their decision to preempt airing of ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live and how those decisions may relate to regulatory issues pending with the Trump administration. My thing about it is, let me finish reading this first. Remember, the argument was that companies can deplatform who they want based on Twitter, and freedom of speech isn't guaranteed on those platforms. So then again, this is what I'm talking about. They banned Trump from Twitter, right? They fired Gina Carano, fired Roseann Barr. Basically, we're out there, you know what? We want to cancel, censor, and everything to keep it. All of that is perfectly fine. But when it comes to Jimmy Kimmel, because the whole argument they had is like, these companies are allowed to do these things because that's what they want to do. But when it comes to Jimmy Kimmel now, apparently that's a problem. This is a double standard, people. But now Hollywood and the media are screaming about the violation of freedom of speech. But what they actually mean is freedom of their speech. Yeah. It all needs to be approached and enforced evenly. Jimmy Kimmel should not have been shut down for what he said. Gina Carano should not have been fired for what she posted. Government interference to silence critics of an administration should not happen. But Biden's administration did it constantly. Rules for thee but not for me needs to end. The media needs to report on all the facts, not just on the ones that helps their position. This actually comes back to something involving Charlie Kirk. You look at some of these so-called media and what they're putting out there, painting Charlie Kirk as some kind of horrible racist bigot thing, when they've taken snippets of what the man said out of context and trying to act like, yeah, this is what he was saying. This is a horrible person. It's not right. It's not right at all. If you are okay with the censorship, if you are okay with the censorship of people you don't agree with, but condemn it when it's the other side, you are part of the problem. It's really nonsensical. It's really, really nonsensical. But Jimmy Kimmel is back. The double standard in Hollywood and Disney is going strong. And this is what happens, people, because it's rules for thee, but not for me. And that's basically what it boils down to. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. I have a different opinion. I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.